nighttime was really made for rest and for healing. And our people, the so-called red people, knew the balance of day and night. There was 12 hours a day for work and play and 12 hours for rest and healing. And it is with our connection with the nighttime, that spiritual time, that we have forgotten. Many people say that they haven't had a dream in a long time, or they can't remember when they last had a dream, or they never dream. And yet every individual dreams every night, several times throughout the night. And I believe it's just because, through their childhood they've been not encouraged to speak about dreams. And we really need to do that today. We really need to talk about our dreams. If we never share a dream, then we allow it to go to sleep. And so many of the dreams are sleeping today.
Welcome back to Tip of the Iceberg, the international podcast where we investigate the value of dreams from the public's perspective. That opening dialogue you've just heard is from a half-hour documentary I directed over 30 years in 1993 titled Donuts, People, and Their Dreams. It was, I interviewed random public in over 18 donut shops across southern Ontario to see what folks actually thought about their dreams. Peppered throughout, I had 3 professionals, and one of them was Six Nations elder, Sarah Smith. That's who you heard at the beginning of this episode. And Sarah Smith was an amazing, well-respected Six Nations elder of the Grand River Reservation in Ontario, Canada, a member of the Mohawk tribe and Turtle Clan of the Iroquois Confederacy. When I took my small crew to interview Sarah in their home near Brantford, Ontario, she said right away, "Don't be surprised if it doesn't work out. Sometimes Spirit has other plans." I thought, okay. I agreed, and I set about starting to interview her. Well, my cameraman got a little spooked, I think, and left a dark lens filter on by accident, which gave her a filmed sepia tone finish. This actually ended up being rather appropriate, making her image look like a late 18th century photograph. Sarah had such an amazing and spiritual perspective, as you've heard in this short intro, and her respect for the value of dreams was really strong. And recently, in the past year, I found Sarah included in a 1994 published book, a year after I interviewed her, titled The Book of Elders, The Life Stories and Wisdom of Great American Indians as Told to Sandy Johnson and photographed by Dan Budnick. This is published by Harper San Francisco, a division of HarperCollins Publishers. There's a section here I just want to share with you. It's a beautiful statement she makes. It reads, "The Iroquois were people of the Great League of Peace, and I have honored, loved, and respected that, feeling that it was a blessing coming into this incarnation. I believe that we are reincarnated individuals, that we have had many lives, and that today we are a sum total of all those past lives. It is my understanding that we enter into this earth walk because we have made mistakes in the past, and we come back to work toward perfection. We work toward perfection so that we can attain the ultimate goal of becoming spirit people again. I recognize and embrace that we are given many options and choices along that pathway." So recently, in 2021, I had the good fortune to interview a cross-section of individuals online, and I met another fascinating Canadian dream speaker in his own right, Lawrence Olson Bain, who is of Cree Inuit ancestry. Lawrence has spent the majority of his life acting, playing music, writing poetry, scripts, and is currently a voice actor and writer. The following interview is a 12-minute collection of dream recollections and sharings Lawrence graced me with when we chatted. Enjoy.
I've never felt unbalanced by my dreams. I've never awakened and thought something wrong with me because I dreamt that. And if anybody here, I can tell you that they've had a dream that didn't repulse them, terrify them, either because it was pointing a great big flashlight at who they were, or it was pointing a flashlight at somebody else. If it didn't turn you on, if it didn't seem completely inappropriate, if you didn't have any of those dreams, you're a liar. I don't care how cushy your bed is, how fluffy your pillows, how wonderful the wallpaper. If you need to put on a ambient sound or a rotating universe above you, that'll take you in your dreams, buddy. You can go there with all that stuff. But you can also be laying on a cold cement slab, and you'll find that bed, that cushy universe in your dreams, buddy. I was in solitaire. I was instructed to go to solitaire by my lawyer, who knew that I play tough guys on TV, but not so much. He said, you get there, they're going to ask you if you're suicidal. I said, I'm not. She goes, yes, you are. I was put in a spacious solitary cell with no bars, pure walls, and a window like that, heavy mesh window, just like that, to look out into the hallway. And I dreamed the most hedonistic, wonderful dreams, night after night. I was astonished by the beauty of the dreams. It seemed to me that I didn't know what to think. I kept waking up going, I was just on a beach. I don't even think of beaches as, yay, beaches, but I was on a beautiful beach. And it had black and white sand. And there were babes. And there was a big hammock. And I was laying in it. I could feel the mesh underneath my body as I laid and swung in this hammock. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Wow. The people who can't let go of a past, bad experience that way, always surprise me, because I've been told I had a dream about them. I don't want to dream about them. Well, what were you doing in the dream? We're having a picnic. Look, why didn't you have the fucking picnic, man? You're in a dream. I have loyalty, and therefore, when it is, tested or betrayed, I cut people off. Now, I can't cut people out, but I cut them off. So I end up having dreams with a guy, and you said the word deadbeat, that I've known all my life. But then he was a disloyal deadbeat. He was disloyal to someone else and a deadbeat. And I cut him off at the knees, man. But I still dream about him because we used to create together. And I dreamed those times without any nagging concern, like, why am I back with this douchebag? He's not a douchebag. He's writing a song over there with me again. And I love that. I love the fact that that's how I stay in love. I can hate, but hate is just, saps your will after a while. I mean, it's a great energy, as Johnny would say. Anger is an energy, but it's an incredibly debilitating energy. It can turn on you. And if you're directing it out that way, there's the danger that someone else is going to get hurt. But Sean and I, we were as had been over the years, we had a couple of rough, that's it, man. That's enough of your shit for one day. And we wouldn't talk for 2 or 3 weeks. And Sean died in one of those interims. He died, he got out of his truck on the side of the 401 and had a major heart attack and died right there. And we were not speaking. So I honored him by not going to his funeral, because we thought they were horse shit too. The two of us. And I don't want to expound on that. That's just simply part of our, running gags and repartee. But I honored him by not going to that funeral, and just sitting at home and remembering the outrageous mind of this man. And I have yet to see him in dream time. And I'm I'm looking forward to it. I love the guy, and it was sad, but it wasn't like I didn't feel any regret for the condition our relationship was in when he died, because him dying had nothing to do with the condition of our relationship. Like that was just what happened to him. What happened to us is what happened to us happened before, and we were going to come around, and that's what I'm wanting to do. I want to come around to see Sean again.
Well.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I think you should pay attention to your dreams, and I think you should understand when they're light entertainment. I think you should always strive to stay asleep if it's getting rough, if it's becoming a nightmare. The monsters never win. They will be there, and in dream time, monsters are some scary motherfuckers. They're scary, and if they're otherworldly, it's an imagination, but it's yours. You must be able to ply that a bit and to massage it so that it doesn't become a recurring dream. So that's not a problem, but a problem you're about to face. And you never turn around. I don't believe anybody turns around and go, I'm being chased. I think people just realize someone behind me, they're after me. That's an issue trying to catch up and just say, yo, you got to turn around and look at me. You got to look at me. I'm not chasing you. I'm trying to catch up with you. I had a horse dream more than once, but the horse was charging straight at me, towards me. And I stood my ground. I was in a prairie. I'd been in a prairie once in the Pink Floyd video at that point, and I know that had something to do with it. But this black horse was charging me, and I just stopped, and he just came right up here, and I could feel his breath on my chin, and he just stopped. And then it was over. And horse in native medicine is power. And I might have been throwing mine around a little irresponsibly. So maybe that's the dream you asked about. Has any dream sort of guided you a little bit? When I got the role on Black Robe, I ended up in La Ville de Bay, Quebec. And I had a dream there within the first 2 nights where a long, black, viscous root, vine, slimy thing was coming out of my mouth again and again and again. And I was choking on it, and it was toxic. And I can tell you that probably about 30 years afterwards, I realized that was all about drug addiction, my own. And it was time to detoxify, get rid of the poison, finally. And I did not understand the import of that dream for far too long. But that's what it meant. Cough this shit up, move on. Get this out of here. I'm pure coyote, man. And the thing about Wile E. Coyote is it really is quite true. Coyote is the trickster, and he's as dumb as a bag of hammers too, but he's continually dumb for us. Coyote came into the woods and saw the other animals amassed and said, I got hit by a car. And they're looking at him going, yeah, obviously. And he goes, no, I got hit by a car. And he said, well, where did this happen? He said, okay, well, I was out here, I was standing right in the middle of the road. Bang, he gets hit again. That's Coyote. And that's me very often. I learn from my mistakes. I think sometimes I learn from my mistakes, and other times I'm damn sure I'm going to make them again.
That's great.
And maybe I'm teaching somebody, and maybe I'm just a goof. But either way, Coyote spirit for me. And that was told to me by my uncle, my grandfather, who was a pretty heavy dream speaker for the Cree in Manigatogan, and then was displaced to Kenora. And I spent a summer with him. Heck of a guy. Made me chop a chicken's head off because I was being snotty and violent and crude. So he made me do something crude and violent, but it was for food. And he got angry at my reaction to it because I was laughing for a while. And then he made me do the whole thing. Pluck it, pick up the head. And by the end of it, I was green and gentled down somewhat. A little less turbulent overall about, the interplay and effect that I had before I got there with my family. I was 10 or 11, and I was pretty much out of control because of a divorce. And I don't need a. You said earlier about improving the imagination. I didn't need that. I needed to dumb down, and I probably found that over the years sometimes when it was too turbulent, just by the drugs and the alcohol, just going into a numb hum.
Yeah.
And man, it's boring now when I find myself there or think about it. And I got a little pissed that I wasted a little time, maybe too much. If you have dreams, they're just so butter to your bread. Their dreams are absolutely necessary. They're food for your soul. They really are. And food, good food, fantastic food, junk food. The dreams that I had that have been ridiculous, I wake up laughing.
Yeah, I know.
I literally wake up going and wake up going, was that me? And then I realized what I was dreaming, and I begin to laugh again. I did a lot of laughing dreaming at the beginning of my career, where I'd wake up and feel so fortunate that I had, found a niche in the biz and was working regularly and on location, literally waking up almost every day with a grin on my face and not even maybe remembering the dreams, but so happy to come back from them to a life that was, working out. I feel that now. Yeah, I feel that now. I think that the dreams are good. I can go to sleep and I'll have one good one nonsensical one, and hope for flight. But I do love sleep, and I love it because I dream. If I had to sleep and it cut into a wonderful life, I might do less of it or resent it. But I love sleep, and it makes my life better when I dream.
That was the closing track of Donuts People in Their Dreams. Music by Kurt Swinghammer. Myself, I wrote the lyrics, and the song was Life is But a Donut Dream. And when you think about it more, donuts are quite holy. Anyway, thanks for joining us today. We've heard from Sarah D. Smith, Six Nations elder, and Lawrence Olson Bain, actor, writer, and Cree Inuit dream speaker, with myself, host Michael P. O'Hara. And the focus of today was Indigenous Dreamtime and how it's such a rich culture within the Indigenous lifestyle to pay attention to our dreams. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Thanks for Kurt Swinghammer's music and Daryl Lee Wood's opening music. That was my son at 4 years old, now 34, singing Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. And thank you to Dream. The song Dream throughout as our podcast theme music by Pearson Ross. Have a great day and great dreams. Take care. This has been a Waking Dream production. Copyright 2023.